I'm going to be a corporate shell for just a second. Thank you for your patience, but let's get back to it.
How dare you?
I know. I know. Shilling for a product I actually use and like. How dare I? Oh no. Oh no, what's happening? It's happening again.
Dick.
Nope. That got away from me.
Dice eat. Eat your dice, everyone.
Eat your dice.
Then you can buy more.
That's true. And you gain their power. And their mascot is like this cute little lion guy. Simba.
Wow. I think that's taken.
Oh shit, you're right. He's got like a little nose.
That's a bear.
My name's Jazzy. Oh god! I forgot.
And then you put whipped cream in its ear.
Yeah, do you not do that to bears? This is going terribly. I blame Jazzy Smooth for all of my woes.
Whoa. You live with cats. You can draw cats.
I can't. I really can't. I'm a terrible artist, y'all. Well, in terms of like
You just
drawing.
gotta practice.
That is true.
There's no such thing as a terrible artist, Dane. Just terrible art. Which you're making right now.
Yeah, I am. Shout out to Dice Envy. Here's your new mascot. Free of charge. Courtesy of me.
Now, Dane,
You're welcome. There you go. It's perfect.
okay. Wow.
I know, right?
I like it.
It's so
I
good.
see the vision.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm seeing a vision too. I'm seeing it's. Oh no! In the vision, we've lost the sponsorship.
What I'm about to say is a joke.
We
but
have
I'm,
to avert such a terrible future.
I'm doing this for the bit. This is absolutely a joke, but I think it'll be funny. You guys, you need to buy calendars. I can't stress it enough. They're so mad about the mascot. Yeah, Drower mentioned. Aku, I think Sublime's talking about his lady friend, not the fact that he and I had our first kiss 1 year ago.
Hey!
Just to
Congratulations!
You just think I shot out the... Is he drawing Mozart? Yes, Spice. Yes, I do. It did seem like your first kiss, so... Yeah, because I read that way at first myself, and I was like, I don't remember that happening. I don't think that's true.
Well, that leads us to our next topic.
Yeah.
Kissing in tabletop games and you.
Kiss the homies.
Always romance your friends.
You know,
tabletop games.
That is a good point, though, right? Like, some people are going to be down for romance in your TTRPG, and other people do not want it at all.
I
Great.
am always pro, like, figuring out vibes between characters.
Yes.
Whether that is between NPCs with the player and the DM, or players and players, and stuff like that. I think it adds fun flavors to campaigns, especially ones that run for a long time, and it, like, makes sense that these characters could end up together because we're all telling a story together in that way. But in a sense to what Sublime just said, sometimes some people want that and others don't, and you've got to respect that.
100%.
Like, it still always comes back down to the like Nitro mentioned earlier, you like talk boundaries with other players, have these discussions in and out of the game before and after. Like it you're it is important that everyone remembers you're all adults at the table together. You need to talk this stuff out.
Yes.
It is not going to be weird.
No.
And if it becomes weird, you also talk that out, or you bring in another party, like a third party, to have these discussions. If it's between players and DM or what have you, like there cannot be that huge tension in the air in regards to that.
And honestly, a lot of these like situations do crop up because of a lack or breakdown in communication. To Jazzy's point. Like if you've ever seen those like Reddit "Am I the asshole" D&D things that are out there, no, not usually. Sometimes yes, but usually no. There's just been people not communicating correctly. That happens. That happens no matter how long you've known somebody. That happens.
I'll always remember DMing a game where one of my players and an NPC that they had gotten to know hooked up. Obviously, we weren't making it visible on screen in any way.
Yeah, that's
just the offhand mention, like, hey, they hooked up. Like, it got to that point in their relationship. And another one of the players was just like, ew, that's like weird. Just like, why? They're like both consenting. The characters are both consenting adults, and us, the players, were both consenting in this happening between the characters. It's just what happened. It was just how the story ended there. Like,
yeah.
It's not like we had graphic sex on the table. Like,
yeah, the fade to black is a time-honored tradition among DMs that I am a big fan of. Right, whether it's too much violence, too much sexy time, if it's in the game, anything that makes anyone uncomfortable, you just go, yep, and the curtain closes, and we move on to the next scene. Like, we all acknowledge that this thing's happened, we move on. I think that's absolutely a fair point. Some people are very staunchly anti-romance, I'm going to call it, in their D&D or in the tabletop.
That's fine.
Sure. I think it's fun to, like, have that, like, ooh, we've almost died together, like, will they, won't they sort of situation. But, like, not everyone's about that, and that's okay. That's totally okay. Well, I suppose. Fantasy in my romance game? I know, it's more likely than you'd think.
And that's why people should play Monster Hearts.
True. So races is a terminology, and like, you didn't know, so don't feel bad about it. But basically, they're moving away from the term races to the term species, which is not nuanced. Not much better. But the company of Hasbro has decided that is the case, right? So you have your base species, which are like your humans and your elves and your dwarves and your gnomes and your tieflings and in other source books, your cat people and your bird people and your cat bird people and your cat dog people. No, that's not true. I mean, maybe it is. You could make it up or whatever you want to. Your frog people. So basically any of the like stereotypical people you see in fantasy genre exist, right? People who are dragon, they descend from dragons. People who are lizard folk. People who are cat folk. People who are elves and dwarves and gnomes and all the ones I already mentioned. I had one guy in a campaign who played as a toucan guy. That was fun. We didn't even make a Fruit Loops joke. That's a missed opportunity.
It's too easy.
I guess, yeah, probably. Oh, is it Heritage? Is it Heritage now? Quickly, to the internet!
But yeah, as they are called, they are simply, this is a means of what does your character look like? In a sense, what informs their history. And like, yeah, I know that you, Aku, specifically have played Baldur's Gate 3, and To most ends, Baldur's Gate 3 is a very good entry point to to Dungeons and Dragons, specifically 5e, which it is based off of, or uses a lot of rules from. Um, and all these races basically come down to one, how do you want to flavor your character and their history, which obviously all of that can also be changed and modified, but also like what stats they bring to the table. But also now those are also easily modified and changed. So it's like you don't have to have the half orc who is only good at strength now.
Yeah.
You can have the half orc who is intelligent or charismatic or etc. Or you could have the gnome who is strength or stuff like that. They've what I'll give Dungeons and Dragons in 5e and what they've turned it into. I forget. Have they changed its 5e name to something else? I've not really.
So it was one D&D for a little bit, and now I think they're just calling it 2024. Like it's 5e 2024 versus 5e 2014.
Bad name, but so it goes. But yes, what it is, it is basically extremely all customizable now in a way that it wasn't even like, I mean, 10 years ago, when you think about it, isn't a long time, but like all that many years ago, whenever 5e first came out. But it really does all come down to like certain races or species, as it were, get certain traits and like passives or what have you. It is all down to what do you want to play and like how and what do these things bring to the table for you. I think a lot of it these days are just based on what you want to flavor your character as. Like I in particular never will play a like human or humanoid. Humanoid, yes, but like not like physically human character. I'm not all that interested in elves. I'm not really interested in humans or dwarves or what have you. I like dragonborns are cool. Like if you're taking the main basic races, dragonborn are the only ones that really interest me. And then obviously the Aarakocra and what have you else are like where I really start digging in to all this stuff because I just think it is more interesting to play than the regular human. But the regular human is also ripe for like storytelling as well. So
yeah, and to kind of bounce off that as well, like species, I guess as they're called, are varied and different, and they can be basically whatever you want them to be, right? Gary Gygax himself, the creator of D&D, for all of his weirdness with like murdering his players, he is on record saying something along the lines of, if you have a player who wants to play a dragon, you should let them. You should let them be a full-fledged winged dragon. Not a very strong dragon, at least not at the start, but you should let them be a dragon. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. They just have to fit within the power scaling of the campaign you're running. If they want to be a dragon, they can be a dragon, but they're going to be an itty-bitty baby, little tiny dragon. They're not going to be this giant fire-breathing monstrosity out the gate, because that's not what the game was designed to do, but you should accommodate your players. Not a sponsor, a fairly good resource, I find, if you want to play digitally or if you just don't want to carry around character sheets. D&D Beyond is pretty interesting. You can buy all your books digitally if you want to. I don't like to do that because I am a physical boy. I need my hands on things. But this is kind of a good case in point, right? All of these different species are from different source books that exist in Dungeons & Dragons. So, like, hypothetically, if your DM's cool with it, and you want to play a plasmoid who's this being from space, made of ooze and gunk, you could do that. If your DM's cool with it. If you want to be a sentient hippo person, you could do that too.
Some of the most fun I've had at the table has been being as a plasmoid. Because you get to just go, all right, I'm a sentient pile of ooze. I can fit between 1 inch spaces, and I'll eat anything in front of me. And that you can play that to a T, and it's incredibly fun. You live by your baser instincts, and you fit wherever you want to go.
I will say, in that regard too, right, in terms of classes, I absolutely agree with